Demonstrators met Hoosier lawmakers as they returned to the State House today for a special session. Eyes are on Indiana as the state looks to restrict abortion access. We'll walk you through today's developments coming up. And storms last night created some issues for people living in the southern part of our viewing area. We'll show you some of the damage and prepare you for more rain ahead. Storm Team 10 Chief Meteorologist Kevin Orper will walk us through what to expect. Good afternoon to you. I'm Susan Dinkle. It's Monday, July 25th. We're staying on top of developing news as day number 1 of the Indiana special session comes to a close. Lawmakers are set to discuss abortion access and a plan to return money to Hoosiers. We have team coverage for you this afternoon from the State House. Cameron de Blasio from our sister station will walk us through what's ahead in this session. And News 10's Blake Dollier talked with demonstrators. First, we take a step back to see how we got here when it comes to abortion protections. It's been 30 days since the Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade. Roe gave women the constitutional right to an abortion. The landmark ruling had been in place for 50 years, but the Supreme Court's decision returned abortion regulations to the individual states. Advocates on both sides of the issue have been voicing their opinions at the State House today. News 10's Cameron de Blasio reports on what pro-life and pro-choice supporters have been saying on day 1 of the session.
It's been an active day here at the Indiana State House. Advocates on both sides of the abortion issue have been expressing their support and their opposition to Senate Bill 1. As the Senate opened public comment on the bill inside the Senate chamber, many protesters were lining the walls outside that chamber with chants of "My body, my choice" and "Vote them out" heard inside the chamber itself. Pro-choice advocates say the bill goes too far in restricting abortion access. Pro-life supporters, on the other hand, argue the bill does not go far enough in tightening the state's abortion laws.
They need to leave everything alone. Nothing needs to be changed right now. They need to leave it as is. Let women have our rights. Let us do what we want with our bodies. Nobody wants to be told what they can and can't do with themselves.
Clearly states in the Indiana Code that life begins at conception. So then if it's life, then we can't murder life, even though they're preborn.
Now, multiple people testified before the Senate today, both in favor of and in opposition to Senate Bill 1. Reporting from the Indiana State House, Cameron de Blasio, News 10.
Continuing with our team coverage, News 10's Blake Dollier spoke with demonstrators at the State House. He walks us through what he saw and heard.
Inside the doors of the Indiana State House, protests went on for several hours, and protesters say that they hope their voices are heard by Hoosier lawmakers.
Chants rang out and thousands made their voices heard on the issue of abortion. Some protesters called for legal and safe abortions. Others called for the protection of life. Pro-life advocates say they want to hold the state to biblical standards. They hope to protect the lives of the mother and baby. On the other side of the argument, pro-choice advocates are saying abortion is health care. They say they also want to protect a woman's right to choose. Here's what protesters I talked to said shortly after the first day of the legislative discussion.
We think, it's not their body and it's not their choice. The body inside their body is not their choice, and we really just want to push God's biblical standard. You'd think this be over, and you think that we'd have rights, but that's not the case. So it's just disappointing and aggravating.
Coming up at 6 o'clock, I'll tell you what lawmakers on each side of the aisle from the Wabash Valley have to say. Reporting from the Indiana State House, Blake Dollier, News 10.
Meanwhile,